It's time to rise, unleash the power deep inside, strong and fierce. You're not alone, together we'll make our presence known. We're the women ready to roar. Oh yeah, feel them, yes, life and sisterhood. Oh yeah, we'll conquer all just like we should. Roar, lioness, show your might. Stand tall, fight the fight. We're the voices of empowerment. Together we'll make the world be land. Lioness, it's time to rise. Unleash the power deep inside, strong and fierce. You're not alone, together we'll make our presence known. We're the women ready to roar. Oh yeah, feel them, yes, life and sisterhood. Oh yeah, we'll conquer all just like we should. Roar, lioness, show your might. Stand tall, fight the fight. We're the voices of empowerment. Together we'll make the world be land.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Pride and Purpose Conversational Podcast right here in the Women Ready to Roar group. We are so excited tonight about joining with one of our older Pride members. Honey, Bonnie has been with us since she was Bonnie. Okay, she is now Michelle and all of this stuff, but she was Bonnie with us, y'all. She was Bonnie. But we are so excited about having her join us today and sharing with us what she has been doing and what's been going on in her life over the past year. So I'm just excited to see her this evening. And so, Bonnie,
Hello.
welcome. Is it okay if I call you Lioness Bonnie?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, all right. Lioness Bonnie, it is so awesome to see you. You look so beautiful. You have not changed one bit. And it is just so exciting. It's just amazing to see your beautiful smiling face. It's just, it made my evening. It made my evening. And as you know, as we go forward, just being with all of you Lioness and sitting in this arena like this and just personally conversating with you, it's just been, oh, it's been a joy. It's given me life. And so I just am so excited tonight about what you will share with us tonight. And I know that it is going to give us life. So, Bonnie, I just, first of all, congratulations on
Yeah.
everything that is going on in your life. But I'm just excited about what is going on in your life, everything that you're doing. And just thank you again.
Yeah.
For educating our children and loving on them like nobody else can. So we're excited for you. We know what that award is called. I'm not going to spoil it. I'm just going to talk. I'm just saying everything before we even get started. But okay, but Bonnie, I have a couple of questions for you because I know that you have a lot of balancing roles going on with you. And I just wanted to ask you, as an award-winning educator who also takes on the significant responsibility of caring for her mother, could you share with us how you navigate the demands of your professional life alongside your caregiving responsibilities? And how do you find balance on days when both roles demand your attention? And before you answer that question, just like introduce yourself and tell us who you are and what you do.
Well, my name is Michelle Scoggins. I affectionately go by Bunny, which has been my nickname since I was minutes old. And I am an EIP teacher in Covington, Georgia, which is 45 minutes away from Atlanta. And that means I go in and I work with small groups of children in kindergarten and second grade, and I give them interventions and strategies in reading and math. And I've been doing that for about 2 or 3 years now, and it's has just touched my soul, just to see them go from just not knowing basically any letters, any sounds, not knowing absolutely anything. And then I pull them up to where they can at least know 3 letter words and be able to sound them out. So God is good. God is good. My principal saw that that was a niche for me. And that's the area that I probably should be in right now, because I know that my purpose and my passion is to help children with reading and writing. You know, my motto is that it unlocks all the possibilities of limitless possibilities in life. If we can't read, what are we going to be able to really do? So that's what I'm doing right now. I just got through with the showcase here in Atlanta. So I'm hoping the agent picks me up, because I had a little Zoom call with them a couple of weeks ago. So I'm waiting to get picked up by an agent here. Just got a call before I got on with you. I have a photo shoot here. I was picked up with an agent for modeling in New York here. I think they have Texas and California. And so I have to go do a photo shoot in a couple of weeks with them. So hopefully I can get some print work and you'll see me in some ads or whatever. But I'm just excited about what God is doing, because when my mom and I, when we left Virginia, I had moved back to Texas because I was working at TCC and the hours and the classes were kind of dwindling. And I was just thinking, I said, God, I was always in a pattern of, am I going to go back home? Am I going to go to Charlotte? Am I going to go to Atlanta? You know, what am I going to do? Those were kind of my choices. And my dad had gotten ill. And so I just went on back to Texas, and I had a relationship with QVC since college, and I was able to go straight in and work at customer service with them. And I was there for about 3 or 4 years until we moved here. We were there about 5 years, and we moved here height of the pandemic. And so that was interesting. And then my dad passed away. So my dad's been passed away about 3 or 4 years. So the pandemic, his passing, that kind of made pounds come on me, because I was just like devastated. So, you know, so life has been lifing, but on top of that, God is still blessing. So that's why we can't go to God when everything is down, because we need to go to him down, up, and in between, because even through our mess, he's going to bless us, because he already knows what's going to happen. So even though we've gone through whatever we've gone through, God, you keep ordering my steps. He's going to carry you through it. And sometimes you don't even know how you get through it. He's picked you up and he's carried you. So, and it's like, you know, the balancing. I've been blessed to work with the principal that if she knows I may have to leave to go take my mom, because all of my mom's appointments are in Atlanta or Duluth or Alpharetta, because, you know, I get her the best. So we have a drive. And so I have to leave where I am and be able to get there for her appointments. So I can get off, or I tell my mom, don't make your appointments on Tuesday, because that's our faculty meeting day. So she's able to really make her appointments around where it's really been easy for me to be able to take her. And I'm so grateful for that. I'm so grateful for that. She's still getting around. She may need a walker sometimes, or her cane, because when we got here, I found her what I thought was one of the best rheumatologists. And the lady stuck her bone, and so now she's got a weak knee. And so that's just another whole story. It's just drama. And so besides that, I tell my mom every day, I said, I don't want to be kind of not ungrateful, but I don't want to be saying that I'm thankful or anything. But the only thing my mom has is her arthritis. You know, she doesn't even really take that many prescribed medications. She takes things that are maintenance. She's always been one of these people that never drank. She never smoked. She always took her supplements, and that's who she was. She doesn't eat pork. She doesn't eat red meat. And so she's always been that one that looked out for her temple. So when I look at her now, and I'm like, people can't even believe, like, she's 82. And I'm thinking, because she took care of herself, and she continues to do that, you know? And so, you know, caring for her, I don't think it was anything I guess we thought was going to happen. When my mama retired, and then we were in Virginia at the time, we weren't living together. She moved back, and we started living together just because we were like two single ladies. So it wasn't like, you know, we were thinking, oh, she was going to ever get ill. I was going to be a senior citizen. I'm going to have knee problems too. So we never really thought we were going to, oh, we're going to gracefully age older together because she moved into a senior citizen high rise and she stayed there for a few years. So we weren't really together. We might have been in close proximity, but we weren't together. So when I got ready to move to Texas, I was like, no, we're going to be together. So you're coming with me. So, we've been together off and on because some people probably think, oh, Bunny and her mom have lived together for years. Oh, no. My mother lived in Northern Virginia outside of D.C. forever. When y'all would see her, she would be in town. So she didn't live here. So she lived in Northern Virginia for a long time. So she's very independent. She's a little bit too independent sometimes for me because she'll have her walker and that'll be in the kitchen and then she'll be in the living room and she's back in the bedroom. So she's all over the place. So, she's still, like I said, I thank God because I have a lot of my friends, even in Virginia, who were caring for their moms and their moms are no longer here. And I think a few years ago, I was going to start a book of people that are caregivers and I think I still will, because it is a lot. It's not for the faint of heart. And I'm the only child. So I have nobody that I can say, I can't get off today, or I have a meeting, or I have an audition, but my mom has to go to the doctors. So God has just been on our side for about all these years where nothing has really come in the way of me being able to support her, be sure she's taken care of, be sure she has everything she wants and that she needs. Because sometimes she gets mad at me. Misha, I don't need that. Well, I don't know. You don't need to get me that. No, I'm okay.
I understand.
No,
Well, it's
I'm going to get it.
I got you. And there was something that you said that was so powerful because it's leading into actually another question that I wanted to ask you tonight. The thing was, you actually indicated that if you have an appointment or anything that you may have to do with your mom, you have a great principal or individual admin that helps, understands what you're doing and what's going on, and they release you to do that. And one of the things that I was going to talk about tonight and ask you was about support systems and
Hmm.
strategies. Just taking care of a loved one while managing a demanding career often requires a solid support system and effective strategies. And so you talked about that, how your support system, particularly those who are valuable in managing your time and dual responsibilities and understanding what you're going through, and you describe that. And so that is such a blessing, and then indicating that you are the only child and you don't have anyone else around. It's good to know that you can always reach out to your community and those, maybe you have a church home, you have your work and things of that nature. It's so important to understand that family is not every time. Family is not those who carry the same blood as you, but it's the ones that you create and the ones who can support you. And so that is awesome. It's so good to hear that. And there was something else I wanted to ask, because as you indicated that, and we talked about the support system, how has this impacted you on your professional life? So, like, for instance, in what ways has your role as a caregiver influenced your approach to education and leadership in the classroom?
Well, I've just always have known that my purpose is to teach. I mean, I just know that that is just the gift that God gave me. And I really think that teaching is a gift because it is so much that's going on with education right now that if it really wasn't from your heart and from your soul, you'd get burnt out. You'd get tired. You'd want to just give up. And I'm not going to give up because I'm not going to give up on my students. And I look at it as I'm a nurturer. And I think because of the way I was brought up by both of my parents and my dad being the king in the home and he knew in his role and I saw how him and my mom were together and my mom is just a nurturer at heart. And so I saw how I was nurtured. So it's easy for me to nurture my students. And then it's easy for me to even nurture her. What makes it harder is she still sees me, I'm her baby. So when I tell her something, she doesn't really always want to adhere and listen. But then when we get to the doctor and she's done it, then she's praising me. Oh, Dr. Eric, my daughter told me to do that. She always knows what to do. She's such the best caregiver. But on the way to that, we're licking out tongues and we're mad and we're doing the fist and all of that. And so I think just the way I was brought up and the way that I was raised and the household that I saw, it's easier for me to step in this role because I have friends and they have tumultuous relationships with their mom. It's just not even any it's not even up for discussion that they even live together. And I just look at my mom and I'm thinking, well, yeah, she probably could be in a senior citizen place now, but why would I even do that? We're both single. She's not dating, I'm not dating, and we love to be together and go out to eat and hang out. And if she wants to go to her room and I go to mine, or one of us is up here in the living room. My mother taught 35 years, and this is my 30th year, and I don't have the age either. So when she retired with the, years of service too, and not quite the age. So when my mom retired and she came back to the Hampton Roads area, my mother started teaching at Central Texas State College on NOB. And so that's what she did for a while until she really, really, really got sick with her arthritis and we didn't know what it was. And we were having tests done and we were running tests and specialists were running tests and they were saying, oh, it's carpal tunnel because she's taught for so long. It was so many years before we actually got to the bottom of a specialist in Chesapeake, which diagnosed my mom with rheumatoid arthritis. And it was almost crippling then, but we thank God it wasn't. And so just to see her go through this now, it's just a blessing. It's just a blessing just to have her, being able to still get around, still having, her right sound mind, still being able to stay and speak and talk for herself. She had a doctor's appointment today and she kept telling me, she said, Michelet, my head, my scalp I just kept seeing her itching her scalp. And I said, well, Mommy, what's going on? She says, I just don't think I probably should have dyed my hair all those years. I don't know what's going on. So she had an appointment with the dermatologist and they checked her out and gave her some stuff to put on her scalp. But she's so cognitive of her body. She's so cognitive of what's going on with it. And even to tell me something isn't right or I don't feel right. I don't feel, or she felt like the other night, I don't even know what she was doing. And I'm thinking, by the time I got in there, I think it was only 5 seconds, boom, I was in there. What are you doing? She's so busy. So she still is very active and she's still very independent. And she has that part of her that she won't relinquish and just let me, to be still. She has physical therapists, PT and OT. They come here and help her with her hands and her legs and her knees. So they come in and they help and support her. And they love her to death. They were like, oh, Miss Princess, she's so gorgeous. And every time we come, she's sitting up here and she's all dressed up and she's ready. And that's just who my mom has always been. She's been that fashionista. She's been that independent person. She's been that woman of God that, just like you say, she stands 10 toes down for her Jesus and for her education. And, and she'll let anybody know life ain't been no crystal stair, but I'm still standing. I'm
Yes.
still standing and I'm here. And that's the way I look at our situation. For us, it hasn't really been cookies and creams. It really hasn't. She and my dad got a divorce, and that was a shocker because I was an adult. I wasn't a child when my parents got a divorce, and and I was in college, and that affected me in a way, that I even talk to people about it now. Divorce, you don't have to be 7, 8, 9, or 10. Whenever your parents get a divorce, that's your life as you knew it, no more. And
That's all.
so
That's some great information for our listeners, to truly understand because well, when we deal with the purpose thing, it's just pride and purpose, y'all. It's pride and purpose. And one of those P's in that word purpose is pain because there's purpose in your pain. And the thing is that when you're talking of those pains may not be from childhood. Everybody thinks, oh, something must have happened to me when I was little. Things can happen to you, like you just indicated, Bunny, that they can happen to you as you grow into an adult, that hurt you and carry that stem, and where you can't really get to do what you are actually wanting to do because you're thinking of the hurt and the pains, and it comes out in different ways, as we know. You don't know why you can't get up, or why you don't want a relationship, or why you don't want to go to this place, or why you don't like this. All of those things are stemming from things that may have happened to you even in your in college years or as an adult. So we have to really look at our pains and evaluate our life and our hurts, and we don't want to do that. A lot of people don't want to take the time to look at the hurts in their life and evaluate them, because they're thinking, when I touch on those things, they're going to make me depressed, or they're going to make me angry. The thing is
They're going to
that,
trigger something.
on, come, and that's not what you. It's not. And if it triggers anything, it should trigger you to change. It should trigger you to understand, what do I need to do to make that never happen again, or what happened? Who was I with when that happened? What was I doing? Who was I working with? And never do those things again. And though in that hurt, you then, like you were just sharing, how you want to write a book and get with people who may have or taking care, going through a caregiving situation like you. That is something that some people would never think. I can write a book from this. Yes, you can, because so many people are going through that as well, and they're looking for others to understand them, and to because an expert means you have experience. That's where the word comes from. Okay, it's experience. You take expert out of experience, and if you are going through that and you're actually dealing with those things on an everyday basis, you are an expert at caregiving for your mother. And as an expert, we need to see a book, Bonnie. Where's the book? Uh, we need to see, because you do it so well. You're talking about your mom aging with grace. You both together are gracing the whole situation of this caregiving situation. You guys have always graced it. I mean, when we see your mom clean as a tool, I came on tonight and made sure that, wait, tell your mama that I came on here looking like this, because I knew that she'd be somewhere in the room. Because see, you don't play with Mama Scrogan's makeup. No, 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 no. And the makeup, everything is perfect. Her hair, her dress. No, y'all do this together gracefully. It's a
Thank
y'all
you.
y'all a team. Y'all dynamic duo.
When I got home to Texas, and the first couple of times, I think the second time I saw my dad, we were sitting in his living room, in his low living room area, and he had a den. And he said, "Do you see that chair over there, my recliner?" I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "That's my crying chair." Now, mind you, he's remarried. He said, "That's my crying chair." He said, "I cry every day for my family." And he says, "And I want you to know that I'm sorry what happened. I'm apologizing to you. I'm apologizing to your mom." He says, "That night," he says, "I'm sorry." And when my dad apologized, I wasn't even expecting that. I wasn't even expecting that, Pastor Latrice. And when he did that, and I was like, well, maybe this was what my trip was for me to get that closure
And
from him
yes,
on that. Because when I tell you, my dad thought the sun rose and set in my mom, the sun rose and set in me. I mean, it was just like, who would have even thought that even this would happen? I mean, even people at the church were like devastated. What? The family? What? What's happening? What? And then the biggest thing is, he was my stepfather. He raised him, and my mom started dating when I was 2. They got married when I was 5. So I don't,
oh,
I don't know anything else but him. So when I tell you that was pain,
mm,
severe pain that I've had to navigate. And then when he passed away, I was just like, that was just a devastation time for me. And so I just want people out there to know that, yeah, you've got to reflect and evaluate on some things. And and it's not easy for us to say, oh, my dad had PTSD or whatever, because that is very serious. I mean, it has really depleted families. It has been so severe. People haven't got out, they get killed. So you just, it's just, it's a terrible thing, you know?
it is. And with with what you've recognized in the midst of that, when things happen to individuals, we had a moment and you had a moment, the purpose of your return was to get that closure. And I don't know, I'm just assuming in my spirit that once you receive that closure, you probably seen a difference even in your life. How you did things even in the school, how you operated in your thoughts about yourself and your business and moving forward in what you know that God have called you to do. You probably went into it, Bunny, with a whole nother attitude, because you got that closure. And it's so important for us to understand that we have to revisit those pains because that is what's holding us back, whether we want to
Correct.
believe it or not. But we cannot have our pains prevent us from reaching our potential. We cannot do that. And so, what you're saying tonight is just so powerful, so powerful. Bonnie, just before we go, I wanted to ask you something, just to take us out of here. Some advice for other women out there who are other professional women, other people who are taking or are caregivers in their homes. How do you do that? What can you give them in whatever situations they're in? What advice can you give us for balancing a career with caregiving responsibilities? And is there a mantra or a practice or a perspective that has helped you maintain resilience and purpose through your challenging times?
Well, I just tell everybody, don't run away from it. If you have a parent that you know that needs your care, do it. It'll be the most rewarding thing that you'll ever do in your life. The Bible says that you honor your mother and your father, and your days on this earth shall be longer. And I don't do it just for my days to be longer. I do it because that's just the love of my heart. And my mom and I get around here and we fuss and we fight and we argue, but we'll say, let somebody else fuss and fight with us. We'll get them. But I think I remember Bunny. I've got to love me first because I've got to be okay to take care of my mom. And my mom makes sure you go get your hair done, you get your nails done, you go get your massage. Like she told me the other day, she even mentioned it to me. She says, you used to get your massages regularly in Virginia. You don't do it anymore here like you used to. And I was like, no. She said, well, you need to start going back and getting your massages and everything. And she wants me to take care of myself as well. And I want us both to take care of each other. But I would just tell the person, don't shy away from it. Like I tell people now, I don't come with any children. I have two godchildren. They're grown. Bryson is 18. He graduates in May, June in Virginia. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? Can you believe it? He
It's,
is 18, 6'1" or 6'2".
oh my goodness.
And yes. And so if any man comes in here now, he would have to love my mama just as much as he would love me. And I've been really blessed to date guys that fall in love with my mom first. They're like, oh, forget you. Let me go to mama. So I've been really blessed in that area. But I would just say, do it, and and every day is not going to be an easy day. And when my mother first got sick and she was in severe pain, and we lived in Chesapeake and we had a condo and her bedroom was up and mine was down, there'd be plenty of nights I would be crying. And I had to, I'm right at my dissertation phase with my doctorate because I had to stop because she had got sick again. And now I'm getting, started to get ready to write my research again. But I had to stop that. And she was like, well, I didn't want you to stop. And you had to take care of me. And I said, and I would do it again.
Awesome.
I
Awesome.
said I would do it again because I don't get away from who Bunny is. I still have a purpose in who I am. And that has to and that meets, it's it's God, my mom, me, my job, everything else falls up under that because it's like a tier. And some days you're gonna have to gravitate to something more than the other. And you just take one step at a time. And I'm so thankful to God because He gives me the energy. Because some days I don't know if I can go on. Because some days I do get tired. But I remember all the sacrifices that my mom has done for me. And when you are a child and you have seen your parents sacrifice for you, it is without a doubt that you are it's an honor to care for them. Because my mother has put me here. I wouldn't be almost Dr. Bunny. I wouldn't be half of the things I am if it wasn't for her. Because I remember even growing up, she would always tell me, to thine own self be true. She says, you've got to be true. And she raised me with that golden command of treat people the way you want to be treated. She says, you're not probably always respected. You're not probably always liked. But if you treat people the way you want to be treated, then you can look at yourself in the mirror every day and say, guess what? Might not have got it done today, but there's always tomorrow.
Come on, mama.
Always tomorrow. And mom, she uses some colorful language. I mean, she knows Jesus, but she cusses a little. But she'll tell me, she says, you get up. And she says, and even though you're in pain, because she tells me this, you get up. And even though you're in pain, don't sit on that bed. Don't gloat. She says, don't say I'm in pain. Don't say my back hurts. She says, there's power in the tongue, Michelet. And you keep saying these things, and they're going to be as a man thinketh, so is he. She says, you need to tell that devil, when you get up and you're in pain, and you finally get up off that bed, you need to tell him, the bitch is up again.
Come on. That's
Said
that's
she
so close tonight. Come on, Bonnie.
that's what she told me to say.
I love it. She is going to be a guest on my podcast. Tell her I'm going to send her an email, and we are going to be graced with her presence. We know that she has
Wisdom for days.
wisdom. We said it at the same time. Wisdom beyond wisdom for these young women up in this group. And so I know that she will bless us. And so I'm going to let her tell me when she's ready, because I'm ready for her today. But she needs to tell me when she's ready. But I would love to have her on.
Well, let her know
I will let her
that
know.
you would love to have her on and get her wisdom. I sure will. She'll be ready.
Bless us with her wisdom. But Bonnie, it has been such a joy to speak with you this evening. I just know that you have blessed the lovely lioness in the group, and I can't wait to have you back so that you can share with us your award that you're gonna win. So I have casted my vote, and I want Bonnie, if you can let us know. And I will put it in the link below that they can do, because how they have it until when? What's the date?
I think they said today, but I haven't checked my email because we got to see who's in the running. So.
Bonnie, if there is somewhere that we can vote or go to, could you please let us know the link? I will also post that right below. You'll see that in our B-roll. Make sure that you vote. But if you could just give us a little tad bit of what your award is, so that our viewers know what you're about to gain. Come on, tell us a little.
Well, I will share with you real quick that when I went back to San Antonio, my city honored me as a Hall of Fame educator. So that was an honor for my city, for where I grew up. But this honor is Reader's Digest is picking favorite teachers, and you'll get a trip to Hawaii and $25,000. So I am excited.
Come on
so
now.
It's Reader's Digest. Yeah.
We will make sure that everybody has that link
Yes.
to sure that they can drop that link to vote for Bonnie. So Bonnie,
Thank
again,
you.
thank you so much for joining me this evening. I appreciate you. To all the lioness out there. This is just so refreshing. So just go ahead. Click on Bonnie's everything, her TikTok, email, Twitter, Facebook. Just hit her up on social media and just let her know how awesome and how blessed you were tonight to hear from her. Again, go forth, ladies, always able to pursue your purpose, and make sure that you understand that you always have to do. Bonnie, put your hands up. Let's do it. Always make sure that you roll. All right. Good night, everybody, and have an amazing night. Good night. Bye-bye, Bonnie.
Lioness, it's time to rise. Unleash the power deep inside, strong and fierce. You're not alone. Together we'll make our presence known. We're the women ready to roll. Build them, yes, life and sisterhood.